Hello, Aries. This September is unlike any month you've ever known. The doors of destiny are swinging wide open, one door leading to money and abundance, another closing with the weight of a funeral, and a third where divine justice falls, restoring balance to all things. These are not just events in the outer world. They are milestones in the journey of your soul. And right now, I invite you to walk with me through this path. Let's begin with the very first door, the one where the flow of money finally finds its way back to you. Close your eyes for a moment, Aries. Take a deep breath in and let it out slowly. Listen to the beat inside your chest like a distant drum calling you back to your original fire. It's time to stop running from yourself. It's time to stand still and look straight at the path the universe is laying before you. And this path, it isn't just one. It's 3 shimmering doors, all opening at once, each one holding a story your soul has been waiting a very long time to hear. The first door carries the light of money, but not random coins falling from the sky, not an empty miracle. This is the flow of restitution, of justice, of value you once sowed and thought had been forgotten. This money has a name, a history, a thread tied to every drop of sweat and tear you poured out. It's a reminder that you were never abandoned by the universe. The second door, heavier and quieter, holds the image of a funeral, not the death of one person, but the death of an old chapter in your life. Maybe it's a relationship long drained of life. Maybe it's a habit that's trapped you, or maybe it's a part of yourself you've been clinging to just to feel safe. But the universe doesn't want you safe. The universe wants you alive, and to live is to let go. This funeral is the ending that must come so your soul can step into a new realm. The third door shines like a sword of light in the night. It is sacred justice. All the hidden knots, the quiet injustices, the truths buried for so long are about to be revealed. You've carried the weight in silence, swallowed back tears, watched the scales tip toward unfairness. But this September, Aries, the universe whispers, enough. The wheel of justice is turning, and it turns now in your favor. When these 3 doors appear together, your heart may tremble. Part of you wants to hold on, part of you is afraid, and yet part of you longs to step forward. I believe this chaos is not meant to break you. It is the rhythm of the universe guiding you back to your soul's true map. No longer do you have to bend to someone else's control. You are being invited to claim your own destiny. In my eyes, life never gives us pain to crush us. It gives pain to force us to look deeper, to open our eyes, to discover a new door. Just as fire only blazes brighter when the wind blows through, your soul shines brightest when you dare to move through the darkness. Aries, I know you've bled in silence more times than you can count. You've asked yourself, why me? Why does justice come so late? But hear this truth: the universe has not forgotten you. And this September, the universe stands beside you, whispering, the time has come. You will be restored. Do you feel these 3 doors opening in your own life? One of restitution, one of endings, and one of justice. Each door asks you to be brave, to be honest, to place your hand over your heart and ask, am I ready to step through? Share your story, because your journey may be the healing someone else needs. You may be sitting in the same familiar room, but deep within, you know you're standing at the threshold of a brand new chapter. Things can change suddenly, like leaves falling in autumn, like a river shifting its course without warning. And now, I invite you to look closer at the very first door where the light glimmers like precious metal, because this is the door of money, but not just any money. This is the flow of wealth that carries the energy of justice, of the values you once lost, now returning to you. Aries, let me take you deeper into the next layer of this story, a layer where the golden light of abundance is flowing back toward you, no longer hidden, no longer blocked. For so long, you've been used to giving more than you receive. You've opened your heart, shared, worked, and asked for nothing in return. But the universe always moves in balance, and what was once held back, what was once stopped, is now finding its way home. The money coming to you is not some random prize, not luck from a game of chance. It carries a story. It may be an inheritance left by a family member, a message that love stretches across generations. It may be a contract, a transaction, a promise once delayed now fulfilled, or it may be a legal settlement, a restitution you thought would never come. Wherever it rises from, remember this: it is not charity. It is the return of value you sowed, you waited for, and you truly deserve. Many in this world look at money with suspicion. Some see it as the root of pain. Some chase it as the ultimate goal. But to me, money is simply a flow. It is like a river. When it runs free, it nourishes the fields, brings flowers to bloom. When it's blocked, it stagnates, turns sour, suffocates the spirit. At its deepest level, money is a tool of healing. It clears what has been stuck, reopens the channels, and brings you back to your natural balance. For years, Aries, you have lived as a warrior. You've sacrificed, you've fought, you've defended. And in that fight, sometimes you forgot. You too need to be nourished. You gave, and gave, and gave, until your heart felt dry. But this month, the universe whispers something different in your ear. You deserve to receive. You deserve to be replenished. Breathe it in as if for the first time you're inhaling the air of enough. I know, for many Aries, receiving is not easy. Deep inside, you may feel guilty, as if taking makes you selfish. But that is only an illusion. The truth is, when you receive, you allow the flow to move again. You let the universe complete its circle. Receiving is not greed. Receiving is a sacred act of balance. So place your hand on your heart and say with me, I am worthy. I am worthy of being repaid. I am worthy of the flow of abundance. And feel the relief spread through your chest, as if a door has opened. Understand, this is not just for you alone. When you learn to receive, you send a message to your family, your community, the world. We all deserve fair return. That giving is not meant to be blind sacrifice, but must walk hand in hand with receiving to keep the harmony alive. That is a human lesson of true worth. Aries, remember this: you don't need to strain anymore. You don't need to live in lack. Abundance is coming to you, not to chain you, but to set you free. Let yourself receive. Let your heart open like a flower under the first rain of spring. If you believe your time has come, if you feel the rhythm of the universe in your heartbeat, leave your affirmation. Write, I am ready to receive. It is not just a phrase, it is a vow to your own soul. And as the light of abundance pours in, another question rises. Are your hands open wide enough to hold it? Because here is a truth few dare to face. To embrace what is coming, you must first release what no longer belongs to you, like someone trying to hold fresh flowers, while still clutching the ones that have withered. And so, for your hands to be wide enough to receive, there must first be a burial, a letting go that cannot be avoided. Aries, there are moments in life when we have to slow down, to hear the sigh of our own soul. It's when you find yourself at a crossroads, not to choose a direction, but to learn how to set something down, because not everything you're holding on to is meant to be carried forward. Sometimes the journey of a warrior begins, not with a battle, but with a funeral. The funeral I speak of today isn't always about a physical death. It may be the ending of a relationship that's gone dry, an old way of living that no longer nourishes you, promises, dreams, versions of yourself you once thought would last forever but now feel too small to contain you. This funeral is the ritual of letting go, painful, but necessary. Aries, I know you've tried to hold on. You've clenched so tightly that your fingers bled, afraid of the emptiness. But remember, only when we dare to bury the past does the soul have room to bloom. Like a garden, if you let the dead trees stand, how can new seeds take root? I want you to imagine this. A cool morning, you're standing in a silent graveyard. In your hand is a single white flower. You place it on the grave of what has passed, an old love, a broken belief, a piece of yourself that once felt strong, but now lingers only as a shadow. You bow your head, take a deep breath, and you realize your tears are not just sorrow but cleansing. And as you walk away, your heart grows lighter, like you've finally put down a stone you've carried for far too long. Death, Aries, has never been a full stop. It is only a semicolon, so the story can continue, so a new chapter can begin. Let this ending be not about loss, but about freedom. In this world, many fear to speak of death, but I see within it a profound human lesson. From the darkest place, light begins to shine. From dissolution comes rebirth, and from release comes freedom. Aries, how many times have you asked yourself, why am I stuck in the same cycles? Why can't I move further? The answer is here. You're carrying too much that no longer belongs to you, an empty relationship, a dream that has dried out, an image of yourself you've already outgrown. It's time to hold a funeral for them, not to deny they existed, but to honor them, to say thank you, and let them go. Give yourself a moment of silence. Place your hand over your heart and ask, what inside me is ready to leave? A habit, a fear, a person I've kept in memory too long, Don't be afraid of the answer, because when you face it with courage, you open the door for something new to enter. If you feel ready, share what you want to say goodbye to this month. Write it down. Turn it into your own ritual, because only when we name an ending can we truly begin the journey of healing. And remember this, Aries, you're not just releasing for yourself. You're teaching others the lesson of courage. You're proving that sometimes strength isn't in holding on tight, but in daring to open your hand. That is the message the world needs to hear in an age where everyone fears loss. When you let what has died finally rest, you free a part of your own energy. You clear the blocked current and let new life rush in. And in that silence, you'll hear more clearly the call of destiny, the call of justice you've been waiting for. Because when the old is buried, the wheel of justice begins to turn. There are days when the sky feels heavy, with things left unsaid. People pass each other with smiles, yet deep in their eyes, secrets lie buried for years. Old pages locked away in drawers. Confessions swallowed back into the heart, truths that seemed forever hidden under the dust of time. But the universe never forgets. Justice in its way can feel slow. It can test our patience, make us doubt, leave us weary. But sacred justice never overlooks a single soul. It follows the turning of the cosmic wheel. And when our hearts are wide enough, still enough to receive the truth, will find its way. You may have thought you had to act, to fight, to prove yourself. But maybe what you truly need is only this: to stand firm in your own light. Because you don't have to chase it. The truth will come to you, and the scales will tip in your favor. Think back to a moment when you felt abandoned by justice. A time when you knew you were right, but everything turned away. When you swallowed your tears and whispered to your own heart, maybe fairness isn't meant for me. And yet today, the universe is showing you the opposite. A family secret may be revealed. A confession, a document, a piece of evidence may suddenly step into the light. What was once blocked, once covered, can no longer be hidden. And you will see clearly justice doesn't arrive with noise, but with certainty, undeniable and firm. To me, cosmic justice always arrives not early, not late, but in perfect timing. If it came too soon, we might wield it as a weapon for revenge. If it came too late, we might lose faith. But when it comes right on time, it is no longer retaliation. It is liberation. This is a lesson every society needs. We don't need to feed hatred to find justice. We only need to keep our hearts clear, our gaze forward, because revenge never heals the past. Only love and truth can do that. So give yourself a pause, breathe in, breathe out, and remind yourself, I don't have to search for justice. Justice will find me. It may sound simple, but in that small phrase lives a deep trust in the sacred order of the universe. It allows you to set down the burden of control and live lighter, more open. For years, you may have lived trying to prove yourself, but now the universe itself will be your witness. Watch closely and you'll see the truth flow like a stream. No matter how long it's been buried, it finds a way to break through. And when it pours into the light, no one will be able to deny it. Have you ever seen sacred justice at work? Maybe someone who once harmed you now faces their consequence. Maybe a truth once buried is now revealed. Maybe a recognition you longed for has finally arrived. If so, share it, because your story may be the hope someone lost in the dark is waiting for. And remember, when justice is restored, it doesn't just touch you. It touches your whole lineage. It reaches those who came before you, and the memories that bled in silence. When fairness is given back to one soul, it opens the path of healing for many others. And as justice is restored, a greater healing awaits the healing of your entire lineage. Deep inside every human being, there runs an invisible stream, a lifeblood that connects us to the generations before us. We think we live a life of our own, but every step carries the imprint of our parents, our grandparents, of those who have gone before yet still live within us in some way. Sometimes you find yourself repeating a fear, a thought, a sadness, without knowing why. That is the echo of your lineage. Aries, you were not chosen at random. You are the flame handed down to end the cycles of pain that stretched across generations. The words your parents or grandparents could never speak, the wounds they could never heal, have found in you a doorway to freedom. When you rise, you do not rise for yourself alone. You rise for all the souls who fell in silence. I see every human being as a candle lit by their ancestors. We burn for our own lives, and yet carry the flame forward to light the way for those who will come after. And more than that, when we burn brightly in the fire of truth and love, we also liberate those who came before us, those who never had the chance to live fully as themselves. Aries, remember this: the pain you carry is not only your own. You may have asked, why so many trials? Why so many breaks in my path? But when you step back, you see, it is a mission. You were chosen to bring change for your entire lineage. You are the one rewriting the soul history of your family. Imagine standing in an old room, family photos covered in dust on the walls. A shaft of light breaks through the window and falls directly on you. In that moment, you feel hundreds of eyes watching, not to judge, but to trust, whispering through the wind, "Go on for us, live for us, heal what we could not." This is not only your story, it is a human lesson for us all. When one person dares to heal, an entire generation is set free. When you dare to say enough, you cut the chain of suffering that runs from past to present. And when you choose love over repeating resentment, you do not only save yourself, you save your children and the children who will follow. Let this truth echo in your heart. You are not fighting only for yourself, you are rewriting the soul history of your family. It is a sacred responsibility, but also a gift. For the universe only gives this mission to souls strong enough to bear it. If you feel your ancestors walking with you, if you have dreamed of them, if you've heard their quiet call inside your heart, leave the flame symbol fire. Let the world know you do not walk alone. You carry a stream that walks with you, cheers for you, even weeps with you in your hardest hours. Sometimes it takes just one person in a family to change and the whole lineage transforms. And you are that one. When you forgive, your ancestors are freed. When you release, your ancestors are relieved. When you choose to live fully, your ancestors are reborn within you. And when you heal the roots, the fruits will blossom in love, in recognition, and in new trust. One morning, you wake up and notice the air around you feels different. The wind still blows, the sun still shines, yet something is quietly trembling in your heart. It is the signal of fruit. After so many days of sowing seeds through pain, through letting go, through the wounds you've had the courage to heal, the tree of your life has begun to bear fruit. And these fruits carry not only the sweetness of love, but also the fragrance of recognition and the strength that comes from sacred boundaries. Aries, sometimes love shows up unplanned. It might come from someone you thought would only pass by. It might come through the eyes of a stranger, or through a hand reaching for yours when you are exhausted. Sometimes love isn't a new relationship at all, but an unexpected care, a timely encouragement, a connection that reminds you you are not alone. And when that love comes at the right moment, it doesn't shrink you, it doesn't ask you to bend yourself smaller. It lifts you up so you shine brighter. You can be yourself and still be cherished. But fruit is not only love, it is also recognition. Recognition from family, from community, from the places where you were once overlooked. It may be a late apology. It may be a public acknowledgement for what you have done. It may be the return of honor, the return of value you've waited for years. And when it arrives, it no longer carries the weight of ego, it is simply balance. You are seen, you are heard, you are recognized in truth, yet no fruit can hold its fragrance long, without boundaries. This is the great lesson you must carry. Love must walk with boundaries because boundaries are the foundation of freedom. When you set a boundary, you are not pushing anyone away. You are telling the world, this is the territory of my light. This is where love is respected. This is where I can bloom without fear of being crushed. Ask yourself, what do I most long for in this season of fruit? A new love, a public recognition, or a chance to rebuild my boundaries? Whatever your answer is, that is the seed that will sprout the strongest this month. And when you dare to say it, dare to write it, you are also planting your prayer into the universe. You have the right to love in safety. You have the right to be recognized in truth. And you have the right to live within the sacred boundaries you choose. This is not only a personal right, it is also a message to society that love never walks with control, that recognition cannot exist without respect, that freedom only blossoms on the foundation of healthy limits. Aries, as you step into this season of fruit, allow yourself to lift your head high. Allow yourself to believe that none of your pain was wasted, because from the driest ground, the strongest flowers rise, and you, with all you have overcome, deserve to stand in that field, to breathe deep the fragrance of love, of recognition, of freedom. And to close this journey, Aries, let us together proclaim a sacred vow for September. It's no accident that this September has led you through so many layers of challenge, from money to the funeral of the old, to divine justice, the mission of your ancestors, and the season of fruit. All of it has brought you here, to this very moment, the moment of declaration. This is the time to pause, to place your hand over your heart, and speak aloud what your soul has been waiting for so long, because I believe words carry creative power. When you dare to speak them, you are planting seeds for your future. When you repeat them with your whole heart, you are redrawing the map of your destiny. Aries, I want you to whisper with me. I release what no longer belongs to me. I release the past, the pain, the cycles that no longer feed my soul. I open my hands to receive the justice of the universe. I believe what was once taken will be returned. I allow blessings to find me easily, naturally, like breath. I stand tall in the light, no longer a bearer of burdens, but a path opener. I am the beginning of a new balance. Say each line slowly, as if you were carving it into the sky. Let every word become a heartbeat, moving with your own, spreading outward to your family, your community, your world. Because healing never stops with one person. When you rise, your light lights the way for others. When you find balance, the world around you learns how to return to peace. That is the ripple effect of courage. Aries, you are no longer the one who suffers. You are the one who opens the way. You do not walk only for yourself. You are making a path for those who come after, to show them that suffering can be dissolved, darkness can be lit, and destiny can be rewritten by the very words we speak. If you are ready to close the old and welcome blessings, leave a comment. My destiny is clear. It is not just a phrase. It is a vow you send into the universe. It is the mark you leave on your journey through this September. Thank you, Aries, for giving your time and your heart to this journey. I wish you peace, abundance, and a clear guiding light as you step forward into the days ahead.